back to the start, to the start, yeah, take me back to the start, to the start, to the start, yeah. We going live in a Creature Corner. We going live, Shock Jock Radio. Yeah, we're live here in the Creature Corner. Wow, wow, wow. Watch this. We going live. Yeah, okay. So far the audio's working good. Would you look at that? Audio working, got the video working. We're going to start sharing it around. Share it for the people to see. Hanging out with Vinny V. This is going to be the place to be. The Creature Corner. Everybody come on down. It's the Creature Corner. Steps into the Creature Corner. If you log on right now, you can watch me share this video. Look at that. That's all you have to do. To share this video is go right here to this little arrow. Boop-a-doop. And share the video. Look at that. You can share it to groups and to your personal page, and it's just as easy as that. ShamWow. Not sponsored. Okay. Gonna get the word out. Gonna give people a second to join. But it looks like we're running good. Looks like we're running smooth. Right there now. Let's just roll that beautiful bean footage. The Creature Corner. Wow. Hey, that's me, the Grand Duke of Spook. Boogie boogie boogie. What is googling on, my funky fiends? It's me, the Grand Duke of Spook, Chris Bell, coming to you live from the Creature Corner. And I feel like it's been so long since we've really gotten to sit down and talk. I know we've had a few sporadic little live streams here. We've done a few things there. I had an interview not too long ago, like a month or so ago, and we got another interview for you tonight. So if you're here, be sure you're sharing the video. Tell your friends to tune in, tune out, strap in, and stress out with us tonight here in the Creature Corner because, whoo, we got a lot going on. We are joined tonight by a very good friend of mine. I will bring him up here on the screen very soon. You'll get to meet him. But he's going to need, a good reception from the people. So I want to get as many of you all in here as we can. Jump on in the stream. Be sure to comment down below and say hello. So we've already had our coffee. We are swapping to decaf for the rest of the evening. I had to do that. I was staying up just all hours of the night and not sleeping because I was doing these live streams at like 10 o'clock at night. What's going on, Lindy? How are ya? Yeah, I was doing these live streams at like 10 o'clock at night and drinking just excessive gallons of coffee at a time. And oh my God, it's the chaotic goblin energy is still here. Don't you worry. But the coffee and the ulcers that they were giving me are no more. So I think without a further ado, we should bring on our special guest. So please put those claws together and help me welcome the one, the only Funk Master V, Vinny Vineyard in the house from Big and Funky Productions. Vinny, how's it going?
Toot, toot, baby, it's time to ride the funk train.
Woo! Oh my God, Funky!
You got quite a little stick going.
I'm really trying here, man. I really am. I try to be spooky. I know. See, Funky here knew me back in the day when I dressed more like Marty McFly and less like Rob Zombie.
It's quite a head trip. And I was going to ask you, man, do people know what you used to do, or is that a secret?
I think some people know, some people talk to me about the wrestling thing, but I don't think very many of them actually know what Casey Rush was.
Let me just talk to the people for a second and talk to your fans.
Please.
This guy, now you weren't in the sport for a very long time, were you?
About 3 years.
Okay, so I would not consider that a long time.
No, not at all. No, no.
You were very, very good, and I feel like if you stuck with it longer, I think you could have gotten maybe paid 2 hot dogs and two
Yeah.
handshakes at the end of the night. But yeah, man, I thought you were like me in the fact that you real, and this is rare with wrestlers. Instead of spots and instead of big scary moves to make the crowd go ooh and ah, correct me if I'm wrong, you cared more about moments and you cared more about people going home and saying, you should have seen what this guy who called himself the Tree Wizard was doing in the match. You should see what this cat was doing. It was the craziest thing. Like, you would give people memories instead of moves, if that makes
Oh
any
man,
sense.
that
And you were comedic foil a lot of times. And comedic foil in wrestling is difficult because it's hard to be funny. And it's hard to do that well, which you did well.
thank
But
you.
when you are funny, people don't respect you anymore. So it was a really hard line to, I need to be a threat in the match,
Hmm.
and yet we're going to do something that kids are going to like and people are going to laugh at.
Yes.
And I think you did a great job with that.
Thank you. I mean, you were someone that I always loved. I don't think we were both babies at a lot of the time, so we never really had any we had some, slap and hand tag team moments, but
Right.
we didn't have too many like bouts together. But I appreciate you saying that I like to create memories rather than moments. Match
Well, it was,
moves. There we go.
yeah, it was memories instead of moves,
Yeah,
man. And I
memories
think
instead of
that's where
moves.
people have lost the way with the new sport and what it is now, which you can't complain too much because WrestleMania was, and I don't watch the stuff very much anymore, and I
Right.
still wrestle rarely. They
Yep.
has to be like the last time I wrestled was some guy said, I'll give you half off $600 of steaks. And I was like, that's kind of the deal. I'm a father now. So that's kind of the deal. It's like, okay, fill up the freezer.
Yeah.
I'm out there for 8 minutes. I'm getting basically $300 of free meat.
Hey,
So
you
yeah,
can't beat that.
yeah, that's what I'm doing nowadays with my wrestling. So it's like, you got me tickets to Disney World. You got a freezer full of steaks. What are
There
we
we
talking
go.
here?
See, like that's the
Um,
kind of POs I need at this point.
that's right. That's what my wife is happy with. If I
Yeah.
go down and get $45, she's like, "What the hell are you doing with your life?"
No, that's
But yeah, but like my whole thing, I've wrestled ghosts. I've wrestled the same tag team and called them different things over and over again. We've had matches centered around my friend or my tag team partner get choking on a piece of pizza and the babyface team giving them the Heimlich maneuver. It's always about with us. I just felt like everybody took themselves so damn serious that there needed to
yes.
be comic relief when you're watching 7, 8 matches, and if
Hmm.
everybody's acting like Stone Cold Steve Austin,
I know.
nobody's going to remember anything.
No, it's all
So
one big.
yeah, it's a big penis. Look at my penis size match, and it's like sometimes people need color
Yeah.
and a little bit of something else, and and I was very fortunate. I was able to do whatever I wanted to do, and everybody was always sweet to me and treated me well. And I think they recognized what I was trying to do for them. I wasn't trying to, of course, I was
Right.
trying to put the baby faces over. Of course, I was trying to put the show over, but it was really more about let's do something unique that, and I
Yes.
feel like me and you both had the ability to do things other people can't. And
Yes.
I do think tapping into comedy is tricky in wrestling. And with Jim Cornette, he always said, funny don't draw money. And I
I
agree with
hate
that.
yes, but I hate that saying. Well, funny don't make money, kid. That's
Well, that was the other problem too, is you had old timers, like you're having a festival up there in the Deadwood up there near Oneida.
yeah. Out there in Oneida at
All
Camp
them,
Dreadwood.
yeah, all them guys up there that used to wrestle were like always like um very suspicious of comedy. They thought
Yes.
what drew up there, and of course Drew meant 40 people, but what drew up there were people punching each other, no matter how old and out of shape somebody was.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, that guy's strong as hell. Well, I'm 5'10". I know you're probably a little shorter than I am.
Yep.
We needed to do other things and then pretend to be Billy Badass, I think. So
Exactly. It's just the pride was never a huge thing for me. I never had to
no.
have all this pride. But now we've moved on from this, and we've gotten into a more I'm not gonna say stable or safe, but less physically intense at times ways of work, less brutal on the body at times.
Well, I don't know. There was our first movie we did. There was a scene we filmed where everybody got injured. So there's there's danger. When you've got to respect actors. I know the people say actors are soft, but if
Yes.
you start really studying film and you look at people like Werner Herzog, who went down to the Caribbean, or excuse me, went down to I can't remember if it was Colombia or Peru. I think it was
Mm-hmm.
Peru, and drug a boat over a mountain because the story was about dragging a boat over a mountain, and people were bit by black mambas and had to cut their feet off, and actors were going crazy and shooting guns off into the tents of all the Aboriginal workers that they hired, and there was pay strikes and bad water. I mean, now of course we're
Yeah.
not doing that. I'm not in another country with a bunch of local extras and nothing, but
Yeah.
there are moments, especially when you're doing it low budget, where it is scary. And that's why, the thing that happened with Rust that just happened with the gun going off,
Yeah.
it gives you pause like, wow, people can really get hurt
Just like
if
that.
you're not, yeah, if nobody's, paying attention. But yeah,
Mhm.
it can be more perilous, really.
Oh yeah. Honestly, that's true. And you have created quite the chronicling, yeah, of
Yeah.
different films. We're gonna pull it up right here. The Smoky Mountain Chronicles by Big and Funky Productions. This is an awesome little I love all of the so right now I know Vinny can't see what I've got pulled up here, but I have his little marker card here pulled out that has like the the camera and the radio tower and then the goat man and the rabbit, the robot and the little beaker. So
Yeah.
each of these things I'm assuming in the Smoky Mountain Chronicles, the six Southern Fables, uh there's the general theme there in the photo is wrapped up for the movie, yeah?
Or a clue
A
of what's in
clue.
the movie, or maybe what some there's one of those that actually gives the twist at the end away. But yeah, it's like everything we came up with. A lot of people don't know too is I kind of left wrestling to go do a paranormal television show called Wrestling with Ghosts,
Yes.
which was three wrestlers and a nerd, a paranormal dork, and we were hired to go protect him as he went on dangerous ghost hunts. We quickly fired him because he was a terrible human being, in the worst way imaginable.
Oh, even better.
Yeah, so we got rid of him and kept it going. But a lot of these stories are influenced by ghosts or paranormal investigations that we've had out in the wilderness or in these weird, crazy places.
And I noticed too here, I've got your map pulled up here now that each movie actually, if you look where Tennessee and everything is right there on the map, you can see the different regions that these movies take place. And I think
Yeah.
that's just a really cool addition to the whole Smoky Mountain Chronicles.
Well, we really, I'm from Baltimore, and my partner, Big Luke, is from Chicago, and we choose to live down south. And we were like, there's so many rich stories here in this region
Sure.
that, hey, The Wire, boom, Baltimore, everything's Chicago PD, everything is planes,
Right.
trains, automobiles, Chicago, New York, Texas, California, but nobody's doing a whole lot about the South and the Great Smoky Mountains, and there's tons of crazy stories and
Yes.
and things that So our first movie, The Hike, is about a Cherokee legend called Spearfinger, and she is a cannibal that can actually change her shape. She can look like your grandmother. She can look like a stranger. She can look like the little girl you want to have make moves on. And when she
Yes.
brings you out off the hiking trail, she'll stab your liver with a big, giant, long obsidian finger and eat your liver. She even sings songs to her little pet raven about eating people's livers. And so we actually did an investigation out there near Bryson City where she always was seen.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a crazy story where something was purporting that it was Spearfinger. And we were like, let's make a damn movie about this. And back when we first started making a movie, you looked on Google, there was no Spearfinger
Right.
anything online. And now when you go, there's all these drawings. I think this is kind of cool. All these drawings and pictures of Spearfinger, how we depicted her in our own movie,
That's
which I kind
so
of think is
cool,
cool.
though.
Yeah.
Like to
And
really create something. Like you've created a cryptid.
well, the Spearfinger is actually a legend from the Cherokee people over in Cherokee. They believe it was in their religion. In fact, when we did the
Okay.
paranormal investigation, we went over there and we were like, and I'm in a mink coat because we're filming for the TV show, and I had my giant afro at the time, and I'm like, tell me about Spearfinger, and they were looking at me like, dude, I don't know you. Why? And we realized, wow, they're really garnered about this legend. I thought they would be like, oh, that silly old thing, good
Right.
grief. But they acted like it was part of their culture and religion, and we try to treat it with a lot of respect.
Sure.
Um, and uh, and so when we did our investigation out there,
Mm-hmm.
um, we kind of ran across something that was purporting that it was her, and we were like, that's very interesting because we didn't expect anything to happen.
Sure.
And and so we put that episode out into the zeitgeist on the channels and stuff,
Uh-huh.
and people started talking about that. So I don't know. We feel like we're trying to bring light to some ideas, some thoughts, and some legends and lore in the area.
Absolutely.
Not just making horror comedies, but actually kind of shining a light on some of the things that we believe or that are believed around here.
Right. I like that. You got a lot. Yeah, look out for that lady behind you. She's putting her laundry
I
detergent.
thought she was. I'm from Baltimore. I'm from Baltimore, man. I thought she was about to jack my ass. I
I
was
was
like,
wondering. She got
kung
awful close to the back door.
kung fu, about to bring it out.
Look out now. Thank you for that new like, Robbie Farrell. Oh my God, that was hilarious.
She's
So
putting perfume on her wrist.
she maybe it may not, it may be a different kind of play. See that? She's being live
Hey,
streamed. She's
she
no.
thinks I need to get her to sign a waiver now.
See, yeah. Now look what you've done.
She's on her phone, dude. She's
She's
she's gonna try to hook up with a guy from work.
maybe she's watching the stream.
Let me go ask her real quick if her husband knows she's here.
Does your husband know you're
No, I'm
here,
just
lady?
kidding.
Getting all perfumed up. We got Lindy D commenting over here too. The wonderful Lindy saying hello to both of us. Bummed you don't live in Tennessee anymore too, Lindy. We would have loved to have you on the shoot for the film. We've got some of your other films pulled up down here. I've got a little like collage of your films down here on the bottom, Vinny. We've got the
Okay.
hike that you were just talking about. We got Camp Smokey, which
Just released.
just released.
We're waiting. Well, it was released a few months ago. We're waiting for it to hit Tubi.
Okay.
It's on some other channels like Real Reveal TV, and it's on Fossum Horror and but that's an interesting. That's kind of our take on. It's like Castaway, the book I Am Legend.
Yes.
Kind of a Last Man on Earth
Okay.
story that we're talking about, a guy in the woods who he has to survive by escaping a demon attacks. Like the world's been taken over by demons, and
Yes.
he talks. He's a kind of a simple guy, and he talks to his teddy bear, and he's a big giant guy that breaks demons in half, basically. So
I love that. That's
yeah, it's cool story.
I also had the pleasure of, I think, being at the premiere of WJHCAM. Or was I don't think it was either a premiere or you just had us show up to do some Mystery Science Theater type commentary over the top of it.
I wasn't even there. I was shooting What's crazy is I was in Hot Springs, Arkansas that night shooting the end of the movie. We did some reshoots, so the movie you saw
Yes.
is not the final, but that's the one that is about my life, moving down south and trying to get in the radio. And the
Yes.
only place that would hire me was a Southern Gospel radio station, and just seeing this weird religious Pentecostal stuff. And then so we conflated all those funny stories with what if Y2K really was the return of Christ, and then everybody who wasn't a Jesus guy had to sit back and fight the denizens of hell off with each
Yes.
other. And that was kind of our that was our little take on that. And that one's been very well reviewed. It's got like an 80% on Rotten
It was a
Tomatoes.
super fun movie. Like I really enjoyed it. It was fun to talk over.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It,
I think it was me, Hack, from Hack's Horror Show, and Eulogy Mortem, and Helena Housewife. I think it was the four of us doing commentary over your movie.
yeah, there's a great night. I have a weird life. I was in a magician's enchanted castle in Hot Springs, Arkansas, watching this guy do magic tricks and interrupting the magic tricks by doing really poor Elton John covers on his piano. I was trapped in that castle while you guys were watching it, and I was getting reports. And here's the funniest story about that. So, one of the guys in the movie is a wrestler named Houston Everett, who is a minister.
Yes.
And now I think he's kind of crazy, but I'm gonna give him benefit of the doubt. I like the guy. But he did a good job dressing up as the devils in that movie had giant afros with
Yes.
big horns, no shirts, black leather
Hmm.
pants, which is how I think everybody envisions demons.
Right.
So now he told his wife, "Hey, I'm in this movie playing a demon." Fair enough. She
Sure.
comes out.
Yeah.
Now, what he also didn't tell his wife that Michael Stanley, the guy wrestler Keith Gavins, also played a demon. So this minister plays a demon in our movie, and there's a scene right when the hits the fan.
Mm-hmm.
There's a blonde walking down the street. A demon comes up, and it cuts to me going, "Oh my God," you know. It
Yeah.
cuts to her. The demon is basically punching the tits of this half-naked woman,
Yeah.
and she's screaming bloody murder. And then the demon rips her head off and starts to eat her head. But Houston's wife thought that was Houston instead of Keith Gavins. So she starts beating the shit out of Houston in the movie theater. And Houston's like,
Yes.
"It's not me. I swear to God, that was Mike." And she was like, "No, you're the demon. I can recognize you." And he's like, "No, that wasn't me. I swear to God." So
Do you think she looked at him in moments before she laid hands on him? She's like, Houston, we have a fucking problem.
I think another funny bit on that what you guys did too was Sheena, the wrestler Roxy, was my girlfriend in the movie.
Yes.
You remember? Yeah.
Yes. 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 Yes.
So, and I don't know if I don't want to drug anything about that's inappropriate or whatever, but Brad Cash, which and Sheena used to date. Brad Cash is another wrestler.
Yes. Brad was there
So
that night.
that's right. So there was a scene where Sheena turns into something nefarious. We still don't know what that was, something
Right.
evil. And in some sort of feminine power move, rips her shirt apart to reveal her breasts. Now,
Mm-hmm.
we had boob doubles for Sheena. That wasn't Sheena's breasts. And Brad Cash, in the middle of the whole thing, just yells out, "Now those aren't hers." And the whole place broke up, and they texted me. They were like, "Brad Cash just yelled, like, I know her tits. Those aren't Sheena's
Those
tits,
aren't
man."
them.
Yeah.
But it's having the art director, you gotta have your intimacy coordinator on set, and boob doubles and things like this happen, especially in horror movies. Now,
Yeah. Yeah.
now I gotta talk to you too about Vinny's fantastic rock and roll adventure.
Well, that was a movie that was done by Brandon Bishop out of Colorado Springs. With this, he runs a channel called Asai TV,
Yes.
and he wanted to make a movie that and this was a road adventure basically where I drove to Chicago with my wife,
Mm-hmm.
and we went down Route 66, and then we shot up to Las Vegas, went out to Los Angeles, came back Albuquerque, Amarillo. We saw Memphis, Nashville, Chattanooga, or not Chattanooga, Chicago, St. Louis, Utah, Las Vegas, Nevada, if I didn't say that already.
Yes, yes.
It was an insane 2-week trip to film all the road parts to that. And that was an amazing whirlwind time. And we came back here and shot a lot of the stuff from the people, the big and funky people, the actors and stuff. We filmed a lot of the scenes in Tennessee, but that was a wild trip, man.
So, where can people check out like Vinny's Fantastic Adventure, like the ones that you do have released right now? Which
Well,
I mean, yes.
all of them are on Tubi for free. Vinny's Fantastic is Rock and Roll Adventure is on Amazon.
That's cool.
Camp Smokey is on Reveal TV and Fossum. WJHCAM is on Tubi and Plex and Amazon. And The Hike is on a crap ton because it was our first one. And don't watch it on Amazon though, because that's like an unofficial version. The newer version, you should watch it on Tubi.
There we go. So,
Yeah.
out of all the ones that you've worked on, I never like asking what your favorite one was because But what was the most difficult one you had to work on?
Well, The Hike was difficult because we didn't know what we were doing.
Sure.
WJHC was difficult because the radio station or the TV station that we got to use, this was during COVID.
Okay.
And this radio station, or the television station, we kind of broke into to film illegally. And no visitors were supposed to be in there. And as Werner Herzog says, to talk about him again, to make an independent movie is to commit a crime. One of my favorite lines ever. But WJHC was tough because the coloring was so awful. That place had like zombie flesh, gray walls, and it was terrible looking. So we were doing dailies, and a friend of mine said, "This looks like shit." And I was like, "God, man, the color, you couldn't fix it with LUTs." And he was like, "Just make it a black and white movie. It's a period piece. It's about the 90s.
Yep.
People will think of Clerks. You guys have a lot of Clerks-like dialogue in it."
Yep.
I said, "Great idea." And we did it in black and white. It was hard to sell, but now that people are responding to it and watching it, and people are like, "You know what? That movie's freaking great for $6,000. That's a great movie." Very proud of that one. Vinny's Fantastic. Living in a van for 2 weeks with my wife traveling a country was awesome, but it was also insanely difficult.
I bet.
And then Camp Smokey, we had to reshoot half the movie because we had to recast the female lead. So that was difficult too. They've all been pretty rough.
See, there's always a horror story on every shoot. No shoot goes smooth.
Nope.
If the shoot goes smooth, something terrible is going to happen after the fact.
You're probably making a bad movie.
Yeah, you've just made a bad movie. This went way too smoothly. This movie sucks.
Was oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. You go right ahead.
No. You ask, guys.
Well, I'm about to start asking you a bunch of stupid questions. So
well, I was gonna just say there's a scene in The Hike where it was just the four of us. There were 4 people on screen, and we were taking turns with who's holding the camera, right?
Yes.
And we all get injured in that scene. Travis Graves, who's the wrestler, El Gordo Gringo, cut himself with a tomahawk. I ripped my leg apart on like these like dinosaur like shark tooth thorns, and it just cut my leg, and like you could actually see the flesh in there. It wasn't just like a little prick. running around, and Big Luke jumped off and broke his toe off of this.
Just
Like,
immediately.
yeah, you know, he's 300 pounds and 7 feet tall, so I mean, he can't do shit like that. And then the lady, Candy Thompson, who's my girlfriend in the movie, it's one of those scenes where you grab a rock and you throw the rock so the bad guys go, oh, they're over there, and they run that way, you know, that old
Yes,
gimmick. And
absolutely.
she's got the camera, and I'm going to throw a rock. Well, instead of throwing it over my shoulder, I throw it straight up in the air, and it hits a branch, and it comes down, and it misses Candy's head by like 2 inches. And so you can see
Jesus.
me on the deleted scenes. I'm sitting there looking at her like for like 10 seconds, and she's sitting there looking at me like, and I'm like, I almost killed one of my best friends with a GD boulder. Plus, we're in a place called the Road to Nowhere.
Oh,
And
good.
I mean, we'd have to carry her ass out of there and drive for like an hour before we get to a hospital. And that's when it was like, okay, let's all take a breather here. We're
Maybe
working a
we
little
need to
too
chill
hard.
out a little bit. No, I
Yeah.
trust me. I understand that the set that the location I should say that we had for What Dwells Beneath, uh, was very remote. There was no power, no running water, no none of that. It is I very much stuck these poor people in a cave for days. And so that one we had quite a few. Nobody got hurt, luckily. You know, no one was injured, but there were quite a few iffy situations. We tied the camera guy to the side of the car at one point in time with a rope because we
Ooh.
didn't have a harness for him to get the through the window driving shots.
Oh God.
So
Yeah, you got to sit there and thank the big guy in the sky.
that's right.
Like,
They
thank
took it
God
for the
nobody got
team.
hurt, man. That would have been awful.
That's right. So now we've reached the part of the show where I ask you ridiculous questions, Vinny.
Beautiful.
Are you ready for that?
I think I'm spiritually prepared.
So some of these are opinion based, some of these have actual answers, and some of these are
Ooh.
completely nonsensical.
Okay. I like those the best already, but let's
Yeah.
go.
So your first question is a trivia question, okay?
Oh my God.
What practical effects powerhouse piloted and partially created the Pumpkinhead creature?
I can't think of the name. This is bad radio. I give up. It's Light and Sound or something. I can't remember the name of it.
His name is Tom Woodruff Jr.
Oh, I thought you meant company. Okay, I'm
No.
wrong. Wrong.
Yeah. So Tom Woodruff Jr. Actually did partially create and was the creature actor inside of the Pumpkinhead suit for the movie Pumpkinhead.
Beautiful.
Tom Woodruff Jr. is a great practical effects person. He's the guy that made Tremors. He did he's done a lot of the apes in a lot of films.
Okay.
Huge IMDb list of shit this guy's done. So, all right.
Have you ever had a guest get them all right?
No.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
I
absolutely
don't feel
not.
bad now.
Yeah, no, don't you
All
worry.
right.
All right. Question 2. Are you ready?
I think so.
Spell M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh my God. M. Period. Night. Let me look up on Google real quick.
Just Google really quick.
SHAAM.
Oh.
No.
Oh. You were so close. Did we lose Vinny? That was it. He was like, fucking out of here.
I think it was a paradigm shift.
Yeah, there we go. We're back. We
It
got
was.
you back.
That was an M Night paradigm shift.
It was. What a twist. You were like, fuck this
Yeah.
show. Ask
Yeah.
me on your spelling bee, Chris Bell. Have fun.
What is his first name? Do you even know?
I have no idea. Is it Mark? What if it's like Martin? It's just like Mark. Mark Night
Mike.
Shyamalan. Mike. It's just some basic fucking name.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, now it's time to ask you.
I went to public high school, by the way. You gotta this quiz stuff's rough on a guy like me. Limited education.
I'm proud of you. You're doing really good. Okay.
Thank you for lying.
Yeah. Question 3. Ready?
Yeah.
Why did we give Matthew McConaughey a TED Talk seminar with Tony Robbins?
Well, I think I tried to listen to Matthew McConaughey's book a little while ago.
Mm-hmm.
We have to.
Does he read it?
Wonder, huh?
Is it the book on tape? Is it him reading it?
Absolutely, it is.
Of course, it is. Continue. I'm sorry.
Of course, it is. It couldn't be like, it couldn't be like Francis McDermott or anything doing it. It was him, and I just couldn't take it. I wanted to kill him and myself.
That's what I'm talking.
He's kind of too positive.
Yeah, it bothers me a little bit.
It does. I think people that are very happy are weird, and he's in that place. Of course, he's rich and he looks good.
That's my problem.
So why wouldn't he be
there.
happy?
If you're rich and good looking and telling me that, man, the way to happiness, you just gotta let it be. Like, well,
hey, man,
I bet so. When you're hot,
we gotta
rich.
wonder what kind of guy wins an Oscar and then does a car commercial, and you're like, that's never been done in the history of mankind. Some guy wins an Oscar and then they're going, hey, man, I'm an Lincoln. Sometimes when you get a straight flush, man, you got to go with the straight flush. You're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Like, I'm so glad people are like, why do you hate him? Like, I just do. I'm allowed to not like at least one person. I'm a very positive individual.
Hey, the first season of True Detective is probably the best season I've ever seen of any television show, and he's in that.
He's an incredible actor. There's no denying.
Yeah, but
just hot rich people don't tell me how to just be cool. And
hey, Chris, I gotta tell you, man, just don't stress.
Just don't stress.
I know you don't have millions of dollars, man. You're aging a little bit, man. You hurt yourself in pro wrestling, man. But hey, man, give it up to the great Shamook in the sky, man. I pray to Shamook. I got some spirit animals on my shoulder. I got Cubby Bear. I got Juicy Fruit, and they tell me it's gonna be okay, man. It's gonna be all right, boy.
See, you got one
right.
Why
are you stressing out?
I
got one right.
You got one right. Fuck Matthew McConaughey.
That was like an essay question.
Yeah, it was long form, and you did perfect.
Yeah,
I
do good on those, man.
Now, this one is going to be, you have 2 options to choose from in this category. It's one of my favorite games. I'm going to give you a fact about one of these 2 people, and you have to tell me which of those people the fact applies to. Okay?
Great.
Okay. This game is called Sarah Jessica Parker or Godzilla.
Oh, my God.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Feeds off pure radiation.
Godzilla?
Absolutely. I would have also accepted Sarah Jessica Parker. I'm pretty sure that's how she stayed alive this long.
I thought you were going to say who had the bigger nose or something.
I've got more facts. Don't get ahead of me.
All right.
Okay. So, born in Nelsonville, Ohio.
That would be Sarah Jessica Parker.
Absolutely.
All right.
Enlisted Mothra and Rodan to help defeat King Ghidorah.
I'm trying to think if that's the nicknames of the tricks on Sex in the City, but I think that would be Godzilla.
That is Godzilla, correct.
Yeah.
Starred in Sex in the City and Hocus Pocus.
That would be Sarah Jessica P.
Absolutely it would. destroyed Tokyo.
Ooh. Did you see the movie, the Sex and the City movie? I wonder if that released in Tokyo.
I don't know.
I'm gonna say I know Godzilla did, so I'm gonna say that one.
That is correct, sir. Absolutely.
All right.
Destroyed New York.
I'm kind of jumping ahead of your jokes, I think. Yes, it'd be Sarah Jessica Parker.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dated Robert Downey Jr.
Was he high?
This is,
Did she do that? I guess Sarah Jessica Parker. Yeah, I guess.
oh, okay. Let's see. We got just a couple more. Is a 252 million year old kaiju.
That'd be Godzilla.
Yes, it is. Starred in a Nike commercial with Charles Barkley.
Oh, I won't say Godzilla.
That is Godzilla. You are our
Yes.
winner tonight of Sarah Jessica Parker or Godzilla.
My wife loves Godzilla. Like, she loves King Kong, though, man. She thinks, like, she bounces up and down when it's. My wife is 52. It's like she's like, it's King Kong, and I'm like, he's got the Thanos glove. What the hell are you talking? And it's like, oh my god. I'm like, does he? Is he trying to wipe out half of the population or what?
This here.
But anyway,
King Kong.
Oh wow.
Okay, show you up here in your camera. The King Kong.
I see it.
An old school Coca-Cola King Kong glass.
Did you know they filmed one in Knoxville?
Really?
A King Kong, yep.
They filmed
the 70s version.
What? Where is
this?
Yep.
I don't know, but you look it up. That was before I moved down here. That's one of the things I remember when we were moving. I was like, we're moving to where they shot King Kong.
We're moving to where
Good God.
That's where you know it's a good move. So, Vinny, you're a
well,
big
depends
winner.
if it's. Is that it?
That's all of it.
Oh my God! All right, good. I thought.
Yeah, see, I set you up like it's gonna be a whole big thing, and then it's just like a few questions.
Yeah, it was like you exposed. It's like wrestling. You exposed me by saying do some leapfrogs. I'm like, I'm 50 years old. Fuck you. But then at the end, you put me over. So I do appreciate it.
100%. See, there wasn't this daunting gauntlet of questions that I was going to start throwing at you. You did perfect. And now I'm going to give you a chance to have your final words. Vinny,
okay.
What are the good things that you would like to say to the people out there that they need to know?
If you want to know more about what we do, if you go to bigandfunkyproductions.com or Big and Funky Productions YouTube page, we are involved in a lot of stuff. We're going back through when me and Luke used to book Great American Wrestling. We're going back through that terrible experience and how, if you are interested in seeing what it's like to book a wrestling show that was doomed from the beginning, we do that. We have a bunch of people, beautiful people that we go out and do paranormal investigations with, Wrestling with Ghosts. A lot of those episodes are now being put on that YouTube channel. Yes. Comedy sketches and stuff like that. But we're also focusing right now on the movies from the Smoky Mountain Chronicles. We're writing one now about Oak Ridge.
Yes.
And the supercomputer in Oak Ridge and AI and how the supercomputer is trying to become more relevant to today's lifestyle, and how 4 funky filmmakers will have to try to stop the Oak Ridge supercomputer from creating a lot of havoc on the East Coast.
Yes. No, I absolutely love that premise. I love the idea. I'm so excited to see the next edition of the Smoky Mountain Chronicles. Vinny,
thank you.
My funky friend, thank you so much for being in the Kreature Korner here with me tonight. Did you have a good time?
Hey man, thanks for the opportunity. I appreciate you carving out the time and exposing me to all these wonderful people and not exposing exposing yourself. You exposed me and not yourself, and that is appreciated.
I try to live my life by that, to not expose myself.
Hey, one last quick. Do you miss wrestling?
You know, there are times that I miss the fun that there was in it. I miss when it was fun for me, and I think that was like it's more of something I think I look back on, and I'm like, haha, that was fun, but it's not something that I so much want to like get back into at this point. I slept wrong the other day and my neck's hurt for like 3 days, so I can't be.
Is that from wrestling?
Oh yeah, I have a lot, and just the short time I was in it, I have a lot of different little bumps and ticks and things that my back and shit where I messed stuff up. But that's
Ah,
that's how it goes.
yeah. That's how it goes, man. That's how it goes. There's a wrestler that will remain nameless. He talked to me last night. He reached out. I haven't spoke to the guy in 8 years, and he like landed. He did a 450 and landed on his face, and
uh,
he's 36 now, and he's like, I can't. He goes, my back is so hurt. It hurts all. I have to take Percocet, and I can't sleep all
uh,
night. And I was like, yeah. I said, that's why the scariest bump I ever took was a superplex. That
see,
crazy stuff bouncing around and flying all over the place, that wasn't for me, man.
well, when I started running with Clay so much, he had me doing all kinds of crazy shit. He was so fucking big that he could throw me as in any direction he wanted to, and
I think that's kind of taking advantage of somebody, you know. I mean, I know I like
well,
Clay, don't get me wrong, but it's like, dude, I mean, we're making $50 each. What are you doing? You're gonna break
oh
my neck, you
shit,
know?
put me through the fucking pain. But no, all up to it. That was a past part of the life, and future is in the Grand Duke of Spook.
Well, baby, I don't want to expose you. I know you're a psycho now, and you're scary, and all the freaking old ladies around where you live are scared to death
I
of
was
your
never a
estate.
happy, optimistic, happy-go-lucky person.
This is a heel turn, man. I
That's
understand.
right.
I know where you're coming from. The rage.
The rage has come out. And I
Yeah.
hope the
Thanks
rage
for
has
having me
come out
on,
in all
baby.
of you out there tonight. I told you that it was time to, strap in and stress out. We were going to get crazy tonight, and I think we delivered on that. Wouldn't you agree, Funky?
Hey, man, can I show you what I went? I told you I went to Louisville today,
Yes.
Cincinnati, Lexington. Can I show you one thing you might find cool?
Yes.
I'm in Nashville right now. Do you know what that is?
That is an old school camera.
This is a Fisher Price uh, PXL 2000. Look it up yourself.
Okay.
It is a toy camera, and it's really sophisticated for a toy, for a children's toy.
Yeah.
And I went up to Kentucky today, and I bought one for $40, and it didn't quite work right. She was like, "Well, it worked last week," and so she gave it to me for 15. And
Yes.
it records on cassette tapes. You remember cassette
Oh
tapes,
yeah.
kids?
Oh yeah. You remember that,
And
kids?
it creates this weird black and white video that you can't replicate with modern LUTs or effects or anything. And it used to sell
Yes.
for $2,000 back about 20 years ago. Spike
Whoa.
Lee bought one reportedly off eBay for 1,600 at one point. So it's a
Damn.
super cool camera. And what's really great is it records great audio. Look it up on YouTube. It's the Fisher Price PXL
Yes.
2000. I went up and picked that up, and
What a
it's really pretty cool.
find.
And like the lady though was like, "This is the original tape that my fiance uh, got when he got the camera when he was a kid, and he got two, and I'd give you the other one, but he just recorded porn on it." And I was like, "Somebody used a Fisher Price camera to record porn." Of course, I would like to have seen the shaky footage or whatever. And
Just this.
I dude, like this was the worst place I ever been to today. But hopefully I can get this camera working.
I think you can. I believe it. If anybody can do it, Funky can do it. Funk Master V,
Believe the funk.
Benny Vineyard. Man, I've had such a good time hanging out with you tonight. I hope you get that camera working.
That,
I hope you get back from Louisville safe.
I'm going to try, baby. Thank you for having me on the show, man. It was a blast.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much for what you're doing. I want to see so much more out of Big and Funky, and keep the Smoky Mountain Chronicles coming, baby. We'll talk to you soon, Funky. And for all you out there, thank you so much for tuning into this broadcast. Thank you for checking out Funkmaster V and Big and Funky Productions. Go check them out on Facebook. They're on Fathom, Tubi. They've got some stuff on Amazon. Just follow them on Facebook, and I'm sure you'll be able to find all the information you need. And as for me, I guess I should say, creep those eyes peeled, my funky fiends, right here in the Creature Corner, because there's always a more coffee, more kooky, and more spooky a ghouling on in the Creature Corner. A boo-bye. We're not going to be right back. Don't listen to that screen. We're going off. We're going away. Yep, stream ending soon.